So apparently this game is getting banned, which is fascinating. Now, I don't usually dive into this sort of kind of pseudo-political stuff that we've got going on in social media, movies, gaming, etc. However, I've just been playing a lot of this recently, and I find this concept really fascinating, and I'll show you why. So apparently the justification for this is that the game is racist, which I find really fascinating. Now, the interesting thing is, in this game, you can basically play as anyone you want. You scatter around the town and you distribute questionable substances to basically everyone in town, irregardless of their skin pigmentation. Basically, everyone is represented as more or less indifferent. You can be whatever, skin tone you want to be, and it really doesn't actually have any impact on the gameplay. You can go off and basically pick anyone and be anyone, and you're going to be seeing characters impacted by substances, and all the characters impacted by substances are impacted the same. There's no sort of different traits or anything like that that are imposed based on the colour of character you pick. There's not really anything beyond the fact that it kind of shows that everyone is equally vulnerable to substance abuse, which is kind of actually a reasonably good message to get across in terms of, well, yeah, like various substances actually pose quite a big problem in society. They can have pretty massive impacts on what happens. They can have pretty negative impacts on communities, as kind of shown in this game. And it doesn't really make any sort of distinction or kind of race-based things. And I think that was very intentional by the developers. Like, they intentionally just didn't have anything along those lines. They allowed everyone to be represented and play as a avatar they could customize to be whatever they wanted to be. And it just seems really odd to try and cancel a game on the basis of racism when the game doesn't really include anything that could be perceived that way. At the end of the day, it basically just says that everyone's normal regardless of background. No one's higher or lower than anyone else. No one's better or special or anything like that. They're all just people living in a society, moving around the society and functioning as is. So, I don't know. That's my view. Do you think this game should be banned? I mean, obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I'd be really interested to hear the comments and kind of keen to hear a bit of a discussion. I'd really love to hear from the people who think it should be banned, because they in particular, like, I'd love to understand more about the kind of thought process behind this, because, I mean, ideally in games we really should be promoting people as, just being people. People have different skin pigmentations, they have different cultures and backgrounds, and that really shouldn't define people, and it shouldn't be the way that you judge a person like by their perception rather than their character. At the end of the day, we should just treat people as people. And interestingly enough, there are even substances in this game which, when consumed by any NPC or the player, will change their physical traits. This is including hair colour, alongside doing funny other things like making people flatulent or have anti-gravity or anything else like that. But you can also change your colour's skin pigment based on what has been put into the blend of the substances that are provided the character. So, yeah, it's all very strange, I guess, that from my view. I actually am just kind of currently searching for somebody to provide something to, because I want to give an example of what happens when you provide someone with substances of any type. And just for helping me out, I'm going to give them a complete discount. So, the game's quite goofy and it does strange things like this. So, a person consumes a substance and they become a one-eyed zombie that also has fog following them around and a kind of glow light sticking out of their eye. I'm not quite sure how that works, but I don't know if this is supposed to be a negative sort of portrayal of someone or how this is supposed to be racist. I mean, if I give this person that particular compound and then I give it to this one over here at the same discount, this guy is going to have exactly the same impact, absolutely no difference based on skin colour. So as you can see, I mean, you can pick whatever skin tone you want. There's no special bonuses or disadvantages that any particular group gets. You can basically look whatever way you want. You can be a larger person or a skinny person, depending on what you want to do, or male or female. End of the day, you can customize yourself to look like whatever you want. You can pick all kinds of hairstyles. You can color them whatever color you like, however you might choose to, present yourself. You can also change your physical appearance with some narrow parameters and basically make an odd looking individual if you really wanted to. And I mean, it seems strange that it's a point of complaint, I guess, like, end of the day, you can just go off and be whoever you want to be. If you feel like you want to play as a particular ethnicity, be it your own or a different one, then there's nothing stopping you. So it's a little unusual. So yeah, it's very strange to me, and I don't quite understand this. So I would love to have more information. I'd love to understand the opposing viewpoints, and please feel free to comment in the comments, and let's talk this out. Let's hash this out. I'm kind of really curious to know what people think.